Hi boys and girls, it's Miss S with another project. I thought we'd do something fun this time. And this is in honor of Valentine's Day, which is coming up soon. Now, what I used in this is watercolors and tempera paints here, okay? Now, if you look at this, I used two of my art vocabulary words. Composition. I thought about, what would I like to do to show the students Valentine's Day representation? I decided to use watercolors in the background and then hearts in the middle ground and the foreground. Okay? Background, middle ground, foreground. And remember, composition, we think about what we want to put on the paper before we do it to make it interesting. Composition. And also, space. I decided to use my space wisely and make this interesting. As you notice, I have said this before, there's nothing exactly in the middle, so my eyes do not focus on the middle of the picture. It looks at the entire picture. Space, composition, background, middle ground, and foreground. That's in all of our art. And I'm going to show you how to do this now. First thing we're going to do, and you can borrow my watercolors to do this, boys and girls. Very important that I tape down my watercolor paper so it doesn't buckle or wrinkle up, because I'm going to wet it first before I put the paint on. So you'll need masking tape to do that. Now I'm going to make sure all the edges are taped up. I have clear water here, and I am going to wet my entire paper first. And I'm not going to make it soaking wet, just a little wet to make sure it's consistently wet throughout the whole paper. And then I'm going to use some warm colors and some cool colors to represent Valentine's Day. And of course, the main color is going to be what? It's going to be red. So if you notice, look at how the watercolors blend out. And that is because of the paper is wet. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to put reds here and there. But the nice thing about this, boys and girls, is you can put your colors wherever you want because it is your art. Now I'm going to use blue violet, or red violet. That is red and purple mixed together. It's already in your set of watercolors. And I'm going to put that on here. Doesn't matter how you put the paint on, you can do it crossways, you can do it sideways, you can do it squiggly. Doesn't matter, it's going to blend no matter what. I think I'll add a little bit of orange in here too. I like orange. How about you? And I'm going to use regular purple. Not the red violet or the red purple. I'm going to use regular purple. Okay, so that didn't take very long. Just make sure all the white on the paper is covered up. Now, I'm going to move this because this has to be completely dry before we do the next step. And I already have one prepared so I can show you the rest of the project. So if you notice, I am lifting this up with the tape still on it, and I'm going to set it aside. And if I want, I can do this too to blend the colors before I set it down. Here is my dry paper, and as you can see, it has a little border on it because of the tape. Now, you're going to get one of these. What you're going to do is fold the paper in half so that the black lines are meeting the middle. So when we open it up, it's going to be a heart. We are going to cut the outside line first, right along the outside line, just like this. And I did them in Sharpie so you could see them. Be very careful, boys and girls, when you cut this out, okay? Because I know you guys have really gotten a lot better at your cutting skills this school year. Okay, now if I open it up, do you see what I have? I have a heart. Now we have a middle line here. I'm going to cut along the middle line. And I'm taking my time so I don't go out of the lines. There we go. Now, this is what I end up with. This is a big heart. I'm going to set my picture aside. I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to put glue on the side of the heart where the black lines are so they don't show when we glue it to our watercolor paper. Okay, now be very careful when you do this, boys and girls, because this could rip very easily. If you see, I use my fingers to hold it down when I'm putting glue on it. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it onto my background. Takes a minute to get it centered. We want to try to make it and put it in the center. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to set this aside for a minute and I'm going to open up my heart like this. Okay. Now the next step is a fun one. I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to put it underneath my heart shape. And I'm going to take, you're going to get fluorescent red and fluorescent pink and a little sponge like this. We're going to wet the sponge and we're going to do some sponge painting. So watch what I do. I'm going to dip it in the paint, and then I'm going to dab it like this inside of the lines there, the dark lines. It's okay if you go on the outside of the line. But on the other side, you see we don't have any lines, so we have to just follow along like we did on the other side, because we're going to eventually fold it and cut it. Okay, so I think I'm done with my pink, and I'm going to use my red. And I'm going to just put it in random spots. I'm not going to go over all of the pink. As you can see, I'm just dabbing it here and there, so both colors show up. And it's okay if there's some white showing. Doesn't matter. Like I said, this is your art. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what I have right here. Now I have a dry one. When this is dry, I'm going to fold it again, and I'm going to cut along the black line. Remember, be very careful with your cutting skills. Very important. Okay? And you're going to end up with this. Now, I'm going to move the paper towel. I'm going to bring my artwork back in the center. And I think I'm going to glue it on like this. I kind of like it like that. You can also put it this way if you want. You can do it however you want. I'm going to let you decide how you want to put your second heart on the painting. Okay? I'm going to put mine like that. And then I'm going to take my glue stick and paste it on. Now, the last two steps, you're going to get two little hearts, a red one and a pink one. Now, these you can glue wherever you want. I think I'm going to put my pink one here, and I'm going to put my red one up here this time. And then it's done. If there's anything else you want to add, another heart, you can do so. I think I'm just going to do this heart, and my two big ones. Okay? This is what it should look like. But like I said, yours might look a little different than mine because you can place the hearts wherever you want on the painting after you do the main white one. Okay? Enjoy this project, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.